This is Andy 2. In this video I wanted to talk a little bit about needles. I was reminded when I was restoring this model 513 when in the instruction manual it talks about the type of needles. 15x1 needles, and it can use a style called, or class called 2020, which is kind of an all-purpose sharp point woven fabric type of needle, and it's called the style 2020, a Singer. And then it can also use a ballpoint needle, which is shown here, and it actually has more of a rounded point. It's not as sharp a point, and it's made for knit or stretch fabrics, so when you were sewing, because the fabric stretches, it wouldn't, sharp point wouldn't catch on the fabric. And that's a style 2045. And then it also can use a twin needle, or which is a style 2028. And over the years there's been a lot of confusion between when a machine says it can use two needle sewing or double needle sewing or twin needle sewing. And there is a difference between a two needle, a double needle, or twin needle. If your machine is made for two needle or double needle, it simply means that two sewing needles, whether class 2020 sharp point or class 2045 ballpoint, can simply be put into the needle clamp just like that, side by side, and they just insert up into the needle clamp, and they both threaded, and you sew with two needles or double needle stitching. Usually it's considered for a decorative stitching with the use of pattern cams, fashion discs, things like that. But I have seen some beautifully tailored clothes where they've used this just to run a double reinforced seam. Instead of having a single top stitch, they'll do this and put a double top stitch, and it's really quite nice. So if your instruction manual says two needle sewing or double needle, that's what they're talking about. And again, it can be a standard 2020 sharp point or style 2045 ballpoint for knit or stretch fabrics. And if it says twin needle, it actually means this, an actual twin needle. So these needles are made together or welded or cast, or however they make needles together, and they're not separate, and they come in the same type of a sharp point or ball point. But if you notice up here at the top, only this side is full length compared to other needles. See how those are like the same size? But this one on the right side is only about halfway up here. And that's because the machines that take twin needles, in the needle bar and needle clamp, there is only a space big enough for one needle. So on those machines, if you're sewing with one needle, you just put it up in there and tighten the clamp. If you want to do two needles, you need a twin needle. because this will go up into the space, and you can tighten the needle clamp screw, and you have 2 needles, 2 threads, your decorative stitching or double top stitching. But those machines cannot take actually 2 needles or double needles, because both of these won't enter up into the needle clamp and the needle bar. And as an example, most of those that I have found that way, like this model 513 I've been working on, has a needle bar jib, and I'll show a picture of it here towards the end of this video to remind you. But it's a little half circle insert that goes into the end of the needle bar, and then the needle holder, needle clamp slides over it, and in that jib is just a space for 1 needle. So this is a twin needle, class 2028 or style 2028, and I've seen them, as I said, in sharp point, ballpoint, different sizes, 11, 14, 16 I think I saw once. But I dug around, happened to have one of these, so I thought I'd just do a little video to help people understand the difference between 2 needle, which is also called double needle. It's actually the same thing. 2 needle or double needle is the same, and the true twin needle. So there's a little information for you, and I'll insert a picture of that jib now, so you know what I'm talking about. And I don't know if the later models into the Singer 700s and Golden, 750 Golden, they might not have used a jib anymore. It might have just been the needle bar made that way. I don't remember. But I have several models that have the jib. And if you take the jib out and try and put 2 needle or double needle, it doesn't work. Only the twin needle. So thanks for tuning in. Here's that picture, and I hope you come back and see me. Take care.